Hello YouTube, back with some of my film reviews, and the other night I watched, not the new horror movie, but it was a limited release and it just went on Netflix, so I feel now's the time most people have a chance to watch it, that being the horror movie The Invitation. Ooh. And, yeah, let's talk about it. The concept of this movie is it's about a man, 2 years ago his son died in a freak accident, and, after that he's divorced his wife, he hasn't seen her for 2 years, and suddenly out of nowhere he gets an invitation to a dinner party being hosted by her and her new husband, and so he goes to the dinner party and things just get stranger and stranger from there as the night goes on, so, yeah, that's the concept of the movie. What's the good and bad of this movie? Well, the good, the main actor who plays the man, Logan Marshall Green, he does a really good job. He does a good job. Well, one, it's nice to see him he seems to be the only reasonably intelligent one. The only one who is thinking like, this seems really odd to me. Everything is going on. Like, I feel unsafe and like we could be murdered at any possible moment tonight. But he does a good job for the fact like why his friends wouldn't believe him. That's something's on going on because it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like this is the first time he's been in this house since his son died, so he's clearly like very mentally distressed and like mentally seems to be completely mentally wrecked over the entire night. So like he never seems all there, so you can always somewhat believe why his friends would just kind of be like just say like, oh, you're just grieving, like you're just not mentally stable enough to be in this house again. He was a good lead, Logan Marshall Green. The ex-wife and her husband, played by Tammy. Sorry, write these down. Tammy Blanchard and Michael Hewson. They're both good at being really unsettling and really odd this entire movie because it's supposed to be like they're part of a cult, and that's not a spoiler. They make it very clear early on they're part of a cult called The Invitation. Get it? Not just that though. All the people the husband invited are also really unsettling and odd, and you are just waiting for like one of them to do something really batshit crazy, and that is this movie's strength. This movie does just have a very creepy and foreboding atmosphere through the entire thing. Like you're just always waiting for something completely insane to happen, like one of these people to start attacking one of them or trying to murder one of them, but it never happens. You're just it's just this feeling of just like you're with the main character. And you're just waiting for an excuse to pull out a knife and start stabbing these people, like because they do seem to be dangerous, but they don't do anything dangerous. They just seem to be like legitimately unsettling people. So you just don't. It is just you're just the entire movie. You are just waiting for shit to hit the fan from beginning to end, and this movie does a great job at just building the suspense and just because even though you know something's gonna happen, you don't know when it's gonna happen, but you know something horrible is gonna happen eventually, and the movie does a great job at just having that foreboding atmosphere from beginning to end. So that was legitimately unsettling and nerve-wracking, and but let me just say, when the shit does hit the fan, the last third of this movie is a lot of fun. It's both creepy, intense, and it's just a really enjoyable last third. You're like, I can't imagine another way I would want this movie to end besides this. So the last third is a ton of fun, and not just that though. Not the last shot of this movie, like they kind of like pull like. They kind of like explain how this like the events of this movie at like the last shot had larger ramifications than they initially realized. It is a pretty darkly hilarious shot, like just like when the person's just like is just looking out like at like the distance and what he sees, and what just his reaction to it I did think was pretty darkly hilarious. So yeah, let's get to the movie. The acting's great, and it, like I said, it just has a very atmospheric and creepy feel from beginning to end, and also third act is a ton of fun. But what's the bad of this movie, and this is really annoying from beginning to end of this movie, is it's really hard to believe that no one else is really unsettled by what's going on, because like the premise of this movie is kind of just a giant plot hole, like because it's supposed to be they haven't heard from this woman for 2 years. She suddenly out of nowhere invites them for a dinner party. When they get there, there's no cell service. They lock the door. They lock the main door. The windows are barred. They seem to be part of a creepy cult. My only thought, like, my god, if I was there, not just that, they start showing, like, them, like, snuff films, like, I'm serious, like, they show, like, a film of, like, someone dying, and they are kind of like, did we just watch someone die? And they're like, yeah, you did, and like, there's one character, only one, who's just like, okay, that's it, this is too batshit crazy for me, I'm leaving before someone kills someone tonight, and that she's the smartest character in the movie because of it. Like, everyone else is just like, oh, they're just kind of probably just odd, they're probably not dangerous, like, this doesn't seem the least bit suspicious to me, everything that's going on right now, the fact that I have no way to make contact with the outside world and there's no way to get to leave this house at the moment, everything will probably be okay, and guess what, it doesn't turn out to be okay, and not just that, like, even the main character, like, starts making such dumb decisions near the end, like near the end, like, a bit before the climax begins, like, he, like, gets a piece of information that seems pretty damning that there's something dangerous about these people, and he doesn't, like, just go back in the dining room, just says to his friends, like, okay, guys, we're gonna leave right now, grab a knife, because we may have to kill a few people to get out of here, but, no, he just says to, the crazy couple, like, you two are dangerous, and you're gonna try to kill us all, and, I'm just like, no, you don't do that when, like, you're with dangerous people and they just haven't snapped yet or shown their true intentions. You try to play dumb, but no, they're just being dumb. Maybe when the main character finally figures out completely what's going on, just, he's still doesn't, like, grab a knife or, like, grab anything to defend himself. It's only when things go completely to shit does he finally start fighting back, and that's just the big problem with this movie, is it's kind of just built around this giant plot hole of you're just struggling so hard to believe that no one is like, I am getting out of this goddamn house before the climax begins. But it's like Oculus, like, if you ever saw that, like, that's a bit like, I kind of have the same praises and gripes I have with this movie as Oculus, like, because Oculus, like, it's a very spooky movie, it has a very foreboding atmosphere, but the problem is, there's just, the whole plot is built around this massive plot hole, in which they could just leave before, like, when shit starts going down, and they decide not to until it's too late. It's the same for this, it's just so distracting for the fact there is that one person who's just like, no, this is too crazy for me, I'm leaving, and they leave, and so it's just like, yes, exactly, good, you were the one smart person in this situation. Not just that, there's parts like when the main character's wife is just like, hey, do you want to leave, like, right now? And she's like, no, I don't want to leave. I was like, no, leave, you goddamn idiot, but, so yeah, but that was the invitation. Like I said, though, besides the fact that the whole movie is basically built around a massive plot hole, it's a very creepy and well-done horror movie, for the most part, so on the whole, I'm gonna give The Invitation a very solid, 3.5 out of 5. I really did like it, it gets very frustrating in the character's stupidity for most of it, but besides that, though, still a very effective horror movie, and I would say it's worth a watch. YouTube, as always, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.